Hello everyone, welcome to GS Core. My name is Saurabh Mishra. So in this small video, we are going to talk about the yearly compilation of the current affairs. Now this is the time of the year when everyone is looking for any kind of compilation because a lot of the students, despite we suggesting them to read newspaper on a regular basis, you miss out on that during the trail of your preparation, and at the last you need some kind of compilation which covers comprehensively the current affairs, right? So here we represent you or present you the yearly compilation done by the GS Core team, Prelims Sampoorna, right? So we have released the environment and ecology. You all know that how important the section of environment and ecology is from the prelims point of view, right? So if we have to map the importance of current affairs in the specific subjects, so environment and ecology and science and tech are the areas where the maximum number of questions are framed from the current, taking the context from the current affairs, right? So you need to understand any topic which is in news is providing context for the examiner to frame a question, right? For that reason, it becomes important to cover maximum possible topics which are there in news in the last 1 to 2 years of time. So in this compilation, what we have tried to achieve is maximum coverage of the topics related to environment and ecology, and correlating that with the static area, so that when you are reading it, even the static portion is also getting brushed up, right? So we present you here the Prelims Sampoorna of environment and ecology. Before you go and download this document from our website, it will of immense help for your preparation. So I would recommend all of you to go to the link given in the description to our website and download this compilation. But how to utilize this compilation becomes very important. So let us look at how to use this document. Now, as I told you, the questions which are framed in the UPSC prelims examination, the context is taken from the current affairs, but they want to check your static understanding of the topic, right? So the combination of current and static is very important. That is what they are using to frame a question. So use this document to widen your knowledge about the current happenings related to environment and ecology, and at the same time with the content, when you read it, it will provide you the interlinkages with the static area, so you can see that whether the information is there in your static notes or not. If not, you can use the information given in the compilation to add in your notes, right? So if we analyze the previous year questions to look at the trends of questions in environment and ecology, you will see that every year there are 3 major areas from which the maximum number of questions are coming. There can be uncertain and random questions as well, but if you look at the percentage, a lot of questions are coming from these 3 areas, which are: number 1, biodiversity conservation; second, environmental pollution; third, climate change, right? So you pick the question paper of 2023, 2022, 21, whichever question you pick, you will analyze that maximum number of questions are from these 3 areas only, right? Now when we say biodiversity conservation, it is a large scale, right? A lot of topic comes under this, but majority of that can be the species and the efforts as in the conservation efforts that can happen in terms of national park, you can say wildlife sanctuaries, national legislation and policies, international convention, agreement, protocol, etc. So all of them come under the efforts part. Effort means effort to conserve the biodiversity. That is an area of interest for UPSC. Or any species. Now in species there are 2 types. One is the static endangered species. So here you read about the IUCN list of endangered species. Another important aspect which generally we miss out is the species in news. Now they can be in news for n number of reasons, right? But more than the reason, the name of the species becomes important. They can choose a particular species which was in news and frame a question on that. Fine. So in biodiversity conservation, we need to focus on species which are in news, and then efforts which incorporates wetlands, national park, wildlife sanctuaries, any kind of effort, national effort and international efforts. Similarly, in environmental pollution, there are areas like air pollution, noise pollution, water pollution, plastic pollution, hazardous waste, waste management. So all of that comes under the ambit of environmental pollution, and a lot of questions are being directly asked from this area as well. So here the static knowledge and which pollution is being in a news constantly becomes important, not only in the last 1 year, but also in the contemporary times of 2-3 years time span as well. So in this document, we have tried to incorporate all those topics in the last 2 years, which holds importance for the UPSC exam, so that by reading the document, you can widen your horizon related to the topics related to environment and ecology. So please, after watching this video, please go through, download the document and go through the topics once, right? Then the climate change. Since climate change is an ongoing and emerging topic every year, so we find some kind of questions from that. Majorly the questions are related to either the initiatives and you can say any alliance which being created or any agreements which has been done. The previous agreement, their evaluation, like Paris Agreement has happened, now what is happening to the updation of the nationally determined contribution. So those kind of questions areas are picked up from UPSC related to climate change. Even we have observed that they give emphasis on any kind of climate fund, that one of the major issue is mobilization of resources, right? So for mobilization of resources, what kind of initiative has been done? So we have, keeping these aspects in mind, we have ensured that all those pressing areas are covered in the document, right? The compilation. This cannot be, these compilations cannot be the replacement of your newspaper reading, but at this time when you are 2 months away from your examination, you need something which ensures horizontal covering as well as provide you certain depth of the knowledge as well. So we have tried to do that in this particular document, right? So those who are writing this year's prelims examination, these 3 are the areas of environment and ecology you must prepare properly, because maximum number of questions are going to come from this area, right? Look at a question. I was talking about species in news. So look at the kind of questions they are asking. In 2023, they have asked lion-tailed macaque, Malabar civet, sambar deer, right? How many of the above are generally nocturnal or most active after sunset? So they are saying generally nocturnal, right? Now these species were in news for different reasons. So they have not asked the reason why they were in news, but since it came in news, so they can be picked and asked a question on them, on their features, right? So here you must know that whether lion-tailed macaque is nocturnal or not. Then lion-tailed macaque is a species of apes, right? So in your surrounding also, you must apply your common sense and understanding also. So you see that the monkeys which you see in your nearby areas, they are most active in the daytime, right? In night, you don't encounter monkeys being active. So clearly, monkeys are not nocturnal animals. So from that understanding, since lion-tailed macaque is also a subspecies of monkeys, so you can say that they will also not be active in the night. So they are not generally nocturnal. Malabar civet, yes, they are active in night. Sambar deer, they are also active in night to avoid predators. So they are not, they can also be active in the daytime, but since the question says generally nocturnal, yes, these 2 are generally nocturnal. So answer will be only 2. This kind of questions they are framing from the species, but from where do you get the list of the species which they may pick, that is, there comes the role of the current affairs, that whichever species are in news for whatever reason, that becomes area of importance for us, that at least you should know about them, know about their IUCN status, know about their unique feature and the areas where they are found, right? So we have tried to provide everything which is needed for your environment and ecology current affairs preparation in this compilation of Prelims Sampoorna Environment and Ecology. You can glance through the topics which are there in the content index. So basically, as I told you, that which are the most pressing areas: biodiversity conservation, right? So we have a subhead of biodiversity conservation. Every news which has come related to biodiversity and its conservation is covered here. Species in news, second area of importance. So all the mammals which are in news, like clouded leopard, snow leopard, Tasmanian tigers, so all of them are covered in an extensive way. Plant species, sometimes those species which are in news, plant species, they tend to pick one particular species and ask about it, what is its feature recently seen in news, and they can frame a question. So these species were of plant species were in news. Invasive species, their listing. Reptiles and amphibians, those who were in news, their listing. Marine species, their separate listing. Bird species. So while going through this particular document, you will not miss on any species which has come in news. We have tried to incorporate that here. Now you just need a superficial understanding of the topic, not very in depth, because the kind of question they are asking is very generic, but you must know, must cover all the species which has come in news. If someone has read newspaper and they have created the compilation of species on their own, that is well and good. But if you have not able to do that, we have done that for you, so you can make use of this. Similarly, the other aspects like insects, turtle and miscellaneous species are also covered. Then I told you that conservation efforts, so wetland, lakes, wildlife sanctuary, national park, reserve, protected areas which were in news. Then site of conservation important bird areas, bird census, tiger reserve, elephant reserves, biodiversity heritage site, wetlands, which all wetlands has been added recently, the list of that. Then the third major area, climate change. So impact of climate change, in which all areas we are seeing, what kind of climate conferences has happened, then what are the performance index, climate change performance index, etc. What are the impact like Arctic amplification, urban flooding, marine heat wave, wet bulb temperature, urban heat island. All of the topic related to climate change which was in news has been taken care of. Similarly, climate finance, I was mentioning that climate finance is one area, climate funds are some area where UPSC is focusing on, because resource mobilization is very important to tackle climate change. So we have taken care of those initiatives as well. Similarly, mitigation of climate change, what are the possible mitigation measures, that also we have incorporated in the, you can say, compilation. Similarly, the third important area, as I mentioned about environmental pollution, everything related to pollution which was in news is covered in the document. Fine. So we have tried to create a comprehensive source for your environment and ecology preparation for the prelims current affairs. I expect you all to at least go through the document once, see that whether it provides a horizon, building horizon of your subject knowledge or not, right? So go through, click on in the description link, there is a link given. Directly from that you can download the PDF and make use of this for your prelims examination. Thank you so much.